Well, we've just arrived here at Kensington Park, which is Dan Hallior's family property just west of Dalby. It's just started to rain, which is why Dan has a smile on his face. Welcome, Dan. Thanks for joining us.
No worries, thank you.
So, Dan, it'd be great if you could tell us a little bit about your operation here.
So we're a mixed dryland and irrigation farm. We grow predominantly cotton in the summer, with a bit of sorghum and corn rotations, and then opportunity crop into mung beans. And then winter we do wheat, barley and chickpeas, which we currently got in. And if we can get 30-40 mil of rain over the next 2 days, it'd be fantastic.
Awesome. And in terms of the upcoming season, tell us about your cotton program.
So it's probably one of the best starts we've had, one through water and storages and two with water in the ground. So our dryland paddocks are probably 90 to 95% full. We haven't started with a genuine full profile in our dryland paddocks for 5-6 years. And irrigation wise, we're the fullest we've been probably in 10-12 years. I don't know if we've had this much water at the start ever. Really.
Fantastic. Yeah, and from a marketing point of view, some pretty favourable conditions pre-season.
Unbelievable prices. Yeah, it's exciting.
And so in terms of your expected production bale-wise for this season, what are you thinking?
So hoping off about 500 hectares of irrigation, around that 7,500 bales. So we're trying to aim for about 15 bales a hectare. And then dryland's highly variable. Our average yield is about 4. We're going to put about 400 hectares in. Last year we went 5 bales a hectare. If it's a good year, we could do 6 or 7. So somewhere between that 1,500 to 2,500 bales off our dryland, which would be nice.
Fantastic. And look, you're a bit of an innovator. You do some things differently in terms of your farming techniques. Could you talk us through, particularly in the area of traffic control, could you talk us through some of the things that you've put in play?
Yeah, so what we're doing is probably not unique in a sense that we control traffic cotton, but what's unique is what we've integrated control traffic in irrigation and dryland. To make that work in our system, we run a 4-metre wheel centres. So we're, I believe, the only people in the world with pickers that run on 4 metres. And what that's allowed us to do is most people go into irrigation with duals in their pickers and they pack pretty much the whole paddock. Well, we can now go into irrigation and drive 2 sets of wheel tracks. They're wheel tracks we don't water, which helps get the water in the ground we water and helps also improve yield. And then that now matches our dryland system as well, so everything fits. Previous to this, we were doing 2 metres on the irrigation and 3 on the dryland, so we're changing things and nothing matched up. And the problem with the irrigation was nothing fitted. So our pickers were still driving over everything.
So our audience is not from the production arena, and they're probably looking at you going, well, why are you making life more difficult for yourself when you can go and buy a picker from John Deere or Case and just do it the way it was designed? Yeah, why do you do these sorts of things?
So we're still buying the pickers from the manufacturer. Probably the best example is 5 years ago we had the traditional pickers on duals. We were in our dryland system, which is a 12-metre system, and our pickers are on 6 metres, our mulch was on 6 metres, and our tractors were on 2 and 3. So we basically drove over everything. Then we had a lot of rain just at defoliation, so we had an opportunity to double crop. So that's to plant another crop in the same season. So we went in there to plant it, but we'd driven everywhere, and it took us 3 times as long as it should have. We broke the planter 5 times, just an absolute nightmare. You move forward in our business 5 years, we now have a picker that's on 4-metre wheel centres, which is where everything drives. It's now stretched out to 12 metres wide. We have a 12-metre mulcher, and cotton's changed a bit so we don't have to pupae bust as well. So we picked it, mulched it, we went straight and planted it, did it all within a week. We saved so much time. We also have paddocks that have better moisture holding capacity because we're only compacting a single tram line. Because what you need to understand is a picker will compact soil down to 1.5 metres, so basically just makes a road. And then that won't wet up, won't hold moisture. So if you're doing that across your whole paddock, you're limiting yield. Well, if we get our true tram line, and then everything else is perfect.
Fantastic. Look, and that's the sort of innovation that we see all through the production space here in Australia. Dan's a great example of trying to do more with less and make the most of the resources that he's got. Dan, thanks very much for your time today and good luck for the upcoming season.
No worries, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Cheers.